The one thing that Arteta needs to fix if Arsenal are going to win that title, the horseshoe problem. Let's dive in. So what is the horseshoe problem? Have you ever had that feeling when you're watching Arsenal? The ball goes to Saka, he's up against two defenders, passes it back into Odegaard, gets his head up. Then he looks, passes it sideways to Rice. Rice then can't really do anything on his left foot, passes it back into Odegaard. Odegaard then plays out wide to Martinelli. Martinelli up against two defenders as well, tries to go onto his right foot, can't get shot off, passes it back into Rice. Then back into Odegaard, back to Saka to work a bit of magic. And then if Saka doesn't really do anything, that attack just slows down and falls to pieces. What is it caused by? Well, what it's caused by is having two inverted players on the right flank. So for example, Saka is predominantly left-footed. He is a two-footed player, can go down the line, but he wants to cut in onto his left foot. But then when he cuts in onto his left foot, he's cutting into a central region. Odegaard's next to him is also left-footed. So both of these players are gravitating into the central region of the pitch, but there's no one around the outside of them. So the opposition defence can just become very narrow and compact. Then you've got Declan Rice, who's right-footed, so he's going the opposite way into Odegaard, again into a central region. Martinelli, who's the wide player, again doesn't want to go down the line, wants to cut in onto his right foot. So you've got all these players gravitating into central regions, and yet there's no fullbacks who are capable of really going down the line and overlapping, taking players on one-on-one. Ben White's probably the best option that they've got, but again, if he's up against a fullback who's marking him, he's not really going to be able to go past him one-on-one. He relies on a ball being played through. And Lewis Skelly is moving into the midfield as well. So you've got, and the Havertz doesn't really want to go in the box. There's all this congestion happening just in that zone 14 or the half spaces area. And that's why Arsenal looks so predictable when they're trying to break teams open. For me, the solution to the horseshoe problem lies in the fullback regions. Arsenal need to sign a fullback who's really going to hug the touchline, almost their version of a Jeremy Frimpong. I think the signing of Gyökeres, yes, he will help them in terms of penetration in that final third, but it's not really going to resolve the horseshoe problem in terms of making sure that the flanks are more functional. There's overlaps, there's inversion as well in combination. At the moment, they don't really have that. I think Madueke as a left winger could potentially alleviate that issue. But Madueke as a left winger for Chelsea didn't really pull up any trees. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him that if he does come into the side as a left winger, he's going to really have to stretch the play, almost be their equivalent to a Gareth Bale in order to make this horseshoe problem be resolved. Let me know what you think about the horseshoe problem. Is this something that
the horseshoe, it's the tactical trap that's been Arsenal's silent opponent this season, and it could define Arteta's reign. In football tactics, the horseshoe happens when the ball moves endlessly in a U-shape around the opposition box, but never penetrates through the middle. It looks neat, but it's predictable. The opponent stays compact, Arsenal run out of ideas, and time ticks away. Arsenal passing around against a deep block, no shot taken. For Arsenal, this often means 70% possession, but just a handful of real chances. Against stubborn low blocks, it turns dominance into frustration, and frustration into dropped points. Drop a midfielder between the lines, encourage third-man runs, and take more risks with disguised passes.